Hello and welcome to round number one of the National Capital Chapter BMW Car Club of America from Summit Point. For Race First, I'm Matt Houston, here for another season of the BMW Car Club here, National Capital Chapter. And we are back to the BMW GTE this season. Don't expect to be running that next season, but we're going to have a 12-round season running these cars, and we're going to be in for a show. We ran these 2 seasons ago. Last season, we ran the BMW GT3 prototype. Had a really good season there. Chris Hill taking the championship. And now we're back for another 12 rounds all summer. All rounds are being covered here on Raceverse. And we're going to have 12 weeks, and we're going to go to quite a few different courses. Scott Kim has made a pretty cool schedule, and of course we have all these excellent sponsors. Get a shout out for them here early in the race here. New sponsor on board is SEO Mike. So SEO Mike has specialized in organic search engine optimization since 1997, and over the last 24 years, they've worked with over 4,000 websites and a wide variety of industries to achieve strong rankings and search engines, leading to growth in traffic, sales, and revenue. So, I mean, this is kind of something that every business out there has these days. So that is something you want to check out, SEOmike.com. And of course, as you saw there, we have Beltway Brewing Company on board once again, thirsty for an award-winning local craft beer here in Sterling, Virginia. You can head on over. They represent the DMV. You can try their lineup of IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzer. And you can order directly from their website, beltwaybrewco.com. They do contact-free delivery right to your door. You can pick it up right at that Sterling taproom I was mentioning. So, a couple of our sponsors here tonight. But yeah, we've got about a little bit less than 8 minutes left in qualifying. Hi to everybody out there once again for the season. We have a new driver up front, Stefan Vapa there. Fikachi, strong runner last season in P2 currently. Chris Hill was fastest in practice. Well, he just went fast again as he crossed the start-finish line. I don't think that this lap is going to be faster, though, with Treakle ahead of him. But Treakle's pretty quick here, though, too, and he's in P4. All these drivers, for the most part, really... This is like their home track, a lot of these guys. This is the National Capital Chapter, so everybody's kind of around that Washington, D.C., Virginia area. This track's a little bit over in West Virginia, but a really good club circuit. This is one track that they do. There's a couple different layouts over here. There's another one called Jefferson. They probably wouldn't run these cars on Jefferson, but there's another one that unfortunately iRacing doesn't have called Shenandoah. That is a pretty cool course, but this one's actually a favorite of mine. I'd never heard of Summit Point until iRacing was released, and this was, a dozen years ago now. But let's go on board here with Darren. They're a little loud here. Into turn one. That is known as the loop. Looks like he's got Chris Hill right behind him. That is turn two. Quick little right-hander there, and then we're coming up to the wagon bend. A left-hander. Have to keep onto the grass, over the curbs, not put too much of your tire into that, into the kitty litter. Through turn four, hard braking into turn five. This is either it's named the Eve Gardner turn or Ev Gardner turn, and then we're through turn 6 and 7. This is the carousel of the track. Out through turns 8 and 9, just kind of snaky S's kind of section. And then fast on this straightaway, setting up for a really fast right-hander in the paddock bend here. Some of these drivers can correct me on that one corner because... And they're through that, and that is a lap, really quick lap for these guys. We're going to be setting up for 30 laps here. They're going to be running probably 29 or 30 laps here tonight. As we see, Hill went off there. I know that move there, Chris. Let me see if we can get a replay of that. This is the easy exit here. Let me show you this move here. This is a classic. I like this one. So if you want to get out of here, you just drive off the track right over here. This is why it's kind of a grade 3 track, and you drive off there and you kind of fall into oblivion, and oblivion returns you to the pit lane. You can also do the same thing over on the hills, over on the side over there. You can go fly over there and you'll reset to the pit lane. This is kind of what makes this track a grade 3 circuit, FIA grade. Maybe even a 4. I'm not 100% sure, but it's those little safety things that makes this a club circuit as opposed to some of the other courses we run that have all the safety amenities. And this is, after all, a 12 or 13-year-old scan of this track. iRacing went into beta around 2007, 2008, and this track was in the service back in those days. So, has not received an upgrade or anything like that since. Brian Kennedy currently in the 5th position. They have to get used to everybody's car. A lot of them are about the same. This one is the same for Brian Kennedy here. Fikachi's was about the same. Hills is about the same as well. Treakle, all these really quick guys kind of run the same livery all season, regardless of the car. The Stefan Papas, I'm gonna have to get used to this one. I wonder where he's coming from this, because this is a new face for us here. Got Dean Thuline. Dean running the SEO Mike car, as we saw earlier, with about 3 minutes left in qualifying here. Let's give another shout out. Speaking of SEO Mike, let's give a shout out to our other sponsors here that are making us have this 12-round broadcast season. Is Treakle Insurance here. So Treakle Insurance is an independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance, and they've teamed up with Hagerty Insurance here to provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. And you can go ahead and visit their website, treakleinsurance.com. I think they're registered in several states over there on the East Coast, around the Virginia area. So check them out there. That's right, Velocity Online Racing. Summit Point, it was the home of the single road course event in the Race First IndyCar Challenge. Great event. Won by Alex Van de Zandt, if I remember correctly. Another new driver here, Alan Queen. He's currently in the pits. Soiker. He was a strong contender early last season. Looks like he's coming to grips with this car, though. Last season running that GT3. Here we go. We've got Aspen Belvin running the Dale Earnhardt number 3 Goodwrench Services BMW here tonight. So really easy to spot. The Intimidator out here. What do we got? Scott Kim, where are you at? In the pit lane? Yes, he is. Then Cellier would be running the Beltway Brew Co. car. Yakov Bielik running that Crafting for a Cure Canada car. Team Gasburn. I saw Colin Kortanek making a comment about Team Gasburn, but several drivers here are Team Gasburn. Not seeing everybody here tonight. Okay, there we go. We got Peter Lanik. I think he's a Gasburn as well. Barry Buchanan here. He started in the season about midway through last, and now he's coming to grips with another car here. As we are counting down to the end of qualifying. Tim Bradford and Charles Turner on the pit lane. Stefan Vapa might have disconnected. Maybe he's coming back in. He's got a couple more minutes as qualifying ends. Hot laps will count. And here goes Hill once again into the off-course area there. Nah, I think he's okay. That's what Vapa did as well. He's just not sitting on the pit lane. Okay. Most cars... Ben Sellier still on track. Most cars have hit the pit lane. I think we can probably go through and start our grid, though. So starting on the pole, Stefan Vapa, his first round, as far as I know, here at a minute 5.118, followed by Chris Hill in P2, Steve Ficacci in P3, Darren Treakle P4, Brian Kennedy in P5, Dean Thuline P6. Top 5, kind of a lot of familiar names here, other than that Stefan Vapa. Now heading to row 4 is Igor Soiker, followed by Alan Queen, another newcomer here in P8, Peter Yerksa, Aspen Belvin, P10, Scott Kim, P11, Sten Sellier, P12. Yakov Bielik in P13, Stephen Tenney, P14, Robert Benson, Barry Buchanan, P16, Peter Lanik, Matthew Stover, Mark Orstrom, Tim Bradford, and winding out our field is Charles Turner and 21st. 21 cars out here tonight. As we have a few cars circulating, but we've got, let's see, a few seconds left on this, and then we're going to be gridding up this 30-minute race here tonight. So we've got the Chevy truck out here tonight for our pace truck. Interesting choice of pace truck out here. I guess they didn't want the, I mean, I guess they could use that sedan, but they didn't want the Porsche. No, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a full pace lap. I think it's going to be a full pace lap. Yeah. So we do have more time to fill some gaps. We've got some sponsors we can talk about once again. Beltway Brewing Company, SEO Mike. Really appreciative of SEO Mike jumping on board this season. Check him out at SEOMike.com is where you want to go for there for any of your SEO search engine optimization needs. They're just the ones to go for. And of course, Treakle Insurance, Beltway Brewing Company. If you're looking for auto, home, business, and life insurance, or even track day coverage, Hagerty Insurance, Treakle Insurance is where you want to go. We're waiting another few seconds. We got Ficacci has not gridded up yet. I'm not sure what he's doing, but that's what our holdup is. And there he goes. He wants all that fuel. There's a strategy of waiting to the last possible moment to grid because you will save fuel compared to everybody else that's been sitting here for the last 2 minutes. So 21 cars here tonight. We'll look at the track. Once again, we did a run through earlier of the track in the corners, but now they're heading through turn 1. This would be the loop. Hill on the outside there. That little kink there was turn 2. Yeah, I'm excited. This is actually my first broadcast at Summit Point. They've been running it for multiple seasons. Favorite of them in this series, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to broadcast any of them until now. This is as far as I remember, anyway. That was through Wagon Bend, that corner back there, the back of the field is navigating through. So these cars, compared to that car we ran last season, the BMW GT3 prototype, these are the GTE cars. A little bit heavier. No ABS brakes that the GT3 has, so you're going to see a little bit more lockups, especially with the bumpy surface of this track. This is through the carousel. This Summit Point course is known for kind of like a really rough track. And the pace car, or pace truck, will duck in momentarily. And then it'll be on Stefan here when we want to go green. When he decides to accelerate. Chris Hill's want to get a good jump here, as will Fikachi. I feel like we might have a little bit of contact. We'll see if we can get through this one. Green flag. Really good jump by Fikachi and Vapas there. Fikachi looks to the outside. Treakle back there in third position inside of Hill. Everybody cleanly through turn one, it appears. Really difficult to make passes here at this track. What you're going to be looking for is the driver ahead of you just to make a mistake. It's really, there it is, a mistake there. That is Thulin in the SEO Mike car, Team Gas Burn. Don't want to be out there. You can easily get a cutting the course if you went straight and just kept going. You can get a cutting the course penalty. You would not want to get that. As we spread out just slightly here. Dust being kicked up, really easy to get off tracks. We do have a incident limit here. Great qualifying by Dean Thulin here, P6, but he's back to 21st now, and he's at the back of the field. So he's going to be coming up through the field here. As Fikachi pressures Vapa here. Now, we've talked to Fikachi a little bit in his post-race interviews. He's a little bit more coming from a Skip Barber background than he is a sports car background, so impressive skills out here. Scott Kim moving into that 10th position. Yeah, this is not the usual livery. If somebody's going through the grass back there, that would be Tenny, I believe, as Yakov Bielek gets around him. No change of positions up here at the front. Fikachi really wants to get around Stefan here, though. Let's go on board with Fikachi. Through the carousel. See a big diffuser on the back of that car. Fikachi has a really good run here. Onto the straightaway, he's going to make a move inside. Stefan there just made a little bit of mistake out of turn 10. Oh boy. I thought Stefan there might give a little bit of the chrome horn to Pikachu there, but they stay clean. Now, Hill applies the pressure on Vapa. Go on board with Hill. You can see Treakle is all over Hill as well from these onboard view. Oh, that is not quite a place you can make a pass here, but forcing the issue might be a thing. Through the final corner, just where Fikachi made a good exit. Hill might have one here, but now Papa also has a little bit. He goes defensive. Gonna make Hill go to the outside into turn one. Will this work? Side by side into turn one. Now Hill has the preferred line through turn two. We're gonna be heading up to Wagon Bend. And Hill completes the pass. So far, so good. Now, Treakle looks to take advantage. We'll go on board with Treakle. We'll see if he can do the same move that everybody else has been pulling off on Stefan Vapa up here. I do see some good battles in the back of the pack between Benson and Kim there, 11th and 12th. I don't want to lose this battle for the lead. Treakle doesn't have a great exit there, so we'll go check out what's going on back here. Looks like that battle might have been completed. Bielik is battling with Tenny. Thuline's coming back up through the... He was last for a moment there. He's back up to 16th from 21st. And Treakle's got around Vapa as well. Let's get a replay of that. See where this happened. Was it in turn one? I don't think he quite had it. Maybe Vapa made a mistake here. Hill, yeah, so Hill was really late on the brakes, and then Vapa kind of followed him really late on the brakes, and Treakle takes advantage. Treakle takes over that third spot. Back to live pictures. Soiker also dropping back. He's in 21st, last of the running cars. I think that our leaders are going to, at some point, run into this traffic up here. And that's going to be a storyline that we're going to have to follow as this night progresses. Stencellier here up 4 positions from 12th. Really good run there for Sten and that Beltway Brewing Company car. He's kind of on his own here. 2 seconds up the track is Yerxa in 7th, and Bielik is another 4 seconds back. Under pressure from Penny. Some action back here with Scott Kim and Lanik and Benson. Let's go on board with Lanik here. Actually, Scott Kim. Looks like there's a lap car in between there. That's who's in the rear. And that is Charles Turner, I believe, in P20. Up at the front of the field, Treakle has built a little bit of a gap as Scott Kim goes inside of Benson here into turn one. Not quite going to make that work. Side by side they go. Now they're going to be heading up to Wagon Bend side by side. And Benson kind of gives them the position. knows that it's tough to make two cars through there. Who was this other? Okay, this is Soiker here behind Benson. Soiker's 21st. Soiker had to make a pit. I think everybody's going to have to pit at some point in this race. Yeah, Treacle's dropped back about a second from Hill in third, and then 2 seconds back is Vapa. So Vapa's coming under pressure from Kennedy. Best battle on the track, though, is this battle between Benson and Kim. Oh, we've got that Turner in the grass off of the last corner. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened there. Yeah, commentator's curse. You don't want to do that to Sten. Not to one of our sponsor paying the bill drivers. We don't want to do a commentator's curse. With Charles Turner getting into the barrier pretty hard off of turn 4. Back to live pictures. Yeah, we don't want to give Sten here in that Beltway Brewing Company car the commentator's curse. He's got to keep it on the track. We got 20 minutes to go here. 10 minutes says up. So we'll see what happens. Best battle on the track here. Scott Kim has caught up to Bielik here. I got around Benson. I think that Bielik had a mistake or something there. Bielik was actually up 3 spots. Kim's where he started from, but he was back a couple spots and gained them back. As we have 19 minutes to go, just about. We're guessing 28 laps here tonight. We've got 10 laps have been completed. So Lanik got around Benson. Oh, as I see Scott Kim looking inside of Bielik there. Hard battle between Bielik and Kim. I feel like Scott's really liking this car. Being back into these GTEs. He's racy here tonight. As Lanik comes up. Oh, that was Soiker still. Soiker's in P20. We know he's fast because he qualified 7th. He's going to try to... They're almost going 3 wide down this straightaway. Soiker's giving them all the room they can. And got Kim blocking up the brakes again. No ABS brakes here. You got to pump those brakes, not let them lock up. Well, that was Turner there in the kitty litter. Lanik is now catching. I kept going back. This battle with Kim and Bielik, and Kim gets around Bielik here. So Lanik is in that black BMW there. Other black car that we are already talking about is Aspen Belvin in P7, up 3 spots from the beginning of the race. Darren Treakle's catching up to Hill up here at the front. Go on board with Darren here so you can see he has sight of the leader there. Kind of the line to go around this track is to use all of that exit curb there. And Hill is also catching Fikachi up there too. looking through the field if there's any other battles. We still have Bielik. Lanik has gotten around Bielik here. Belvin is catching up with Yerxa. This is going to be the battling for that 7th position where one of these drivers will get kind of the wild card interview here tonight. We do the podium interview, of course, interviewing the winner too, and we're doing a wild card with the 7th place interviewee as well. So that's what the battle is for. Benson applying pressure to Bielik. Going on board with Benson here. Looks like Yerxa has hit the pit lane. Making sure, who is this? I want to make sure that there's a car there that had some damage there. It was Yerxa, so something happened there. Let's have a look and see what we can discover. Yeah, there was definite. That might have been with Belvin there. That Intimidator car might have caused some issues there. Let's see what happened here. That battle was coming quick. What do we got? I think that Yerxa might make a mistake here. Oh, no, we've got... Ouch, that might have been Turner causing some issues there. That's not what we want. Tough break for Yerxa. Really tough break for Yerxa. He had to tow that thing, and he's out of the race now. That will put... Well, we've got cars cycling pit stops now. Tenny and Sten. Bappa has hit the pit lane as well. Oh! I'm not sure what happened there. We had number 51, if I'm getting that correct. Bradford having some issues there. Let's get a look and see. He got a little bit of help. Into the tire barrier, and then he did wait for everybody to get around. And let's see if we can get a little bit better angle on that. Yeah, he waits for the leaders to get around, but then he backs it up. Oof. For the 4th place car, Brian Kennedy gets through. And this was after... Let's go back to live pictures, number 1. I'm lost on what the driver I'm trying to find out here. Stefan, there. He's in 7th. He's got a little bit of damage on that front end. Our pole sitter having some really bad luck there. So what we still have to keep an eye on is when... So Ficacci is coming up to lap traffic here. When do these cars want to pit is one of these questions. These cars being really nice to the lead pack there. That was Barry there. P18. Really, really good to the leaders there. Let's have a look here at Treakle's windshield. We got Cicada apparently damaged there on the front windshield. With that said, heading up to Hill, Hill's catching up with Fikachi here for that P1 position. Yeah, some action there. We lost a little bit of track of everything that was going on. Now that is Lanik. So Lanik, the last of the cars, he's in 15th. He's got some damage on the front of that car. Last of the cars that have not pit. Oh, wow. We've got... who was that? That wasn't Bielik. Every time I see an orange car, I think it was Stover. See what happened there. Stover's got these orange cars now. I get it mixed up with Bielik. Slightly different orange, though. Certainly not what the leader's looking for, though, when he comes out here. He just drops a tire. Oh, and he hits, and that takes the tumble there. And he's back out here. Hill has a really good run here off of turn 10. Not quite there, though, to make any sort of move, though. As we're estimating 10... Oh, wow, wow. That was the last of the late breaker there. Right on board at the right time. I think Hill is going to let Fikachi come back out here. Because he knew that was not on. Is what he knew. That was some, a little bit of the chrome horn, but really good sportsmanship by Hill there. Excellent sportsmanship. And Treakle comes into this battle, so a second between the top three competitors. Can't ask for much more than that. So Sten is into the 7th spot. This is the interview position. He's about a second ahead of Scott Kim, our admin there. I think we got to interview Scott last time we did one of these. But yeah, he's going to be pressuring. He wants to get into that interview position. Everybody wants to get in there. But cutting back to that battle for the lead. We'll keep an eye on that 7th place battle too. Through the Eve Gardner corner, through the carousel, Fikachi navigates. Hill is really there. Basically, everybody's been waiting for somebody to make into this corner here, the 10th corner. Wait for them to make a mistake, and that's really the only place you can really make a pass here. Unless somebody else makes a really big mistake every other place, but this is the passing point right here. Treakle has hit the pit lane. Really bad pit lane shots here for some reason. Gonna try to do an undercut on those drivers ahead of them, although no tires or anything like that. The Belvin in 5th spot in that Intimidator livery coming out of the final corner. Kennedy's taken over that 3rd position for the moment, but he'll have to pit here momentarily as well. What I'm curious about is Hill here has not, if he thinks that Fikachi's holding them up or anything like that, I would dive into the pits. But okay, there goes Fikachi. So that's Fikachi has blinked, and he's going to go try to undercut, maintain that lead. So Hill's going to want to run some really fast laps. And try to get ahead of Fikachi through these through the pit cycle. Kennedy is in the pit lane as well. Fikachi out of the pits. Treakle back here. Fikachi had a slightly faster pit stop. Belvin in the pit lane. Got Kim coming into the pit lane as well. Got Kim in that 7th position, but we'll see how everything cycles through. Will Chris Hill come into the pits this time? Looks like he's going to be. So this will be the battle to watch, is where is Fikachi through this pit cycle? Yeah, I think we will confirm whether that happened. I'm not sure if they do clean the windshield on the pit stops. So I want to keep an eye on this battle where... Okay, so Hill coming out of the pit lane side by side. Treakle's up to speed, though. And Fikachi's, I don't want to say easily has that position, but he maintains it. It looks like they have cleaned the windshield of Treakle there. So probably a tear off, something like that. Pit crew able to pull that off with clean. Probably have multiple layers of that they can use all race long for all the pit stops they're going to do. Alan Queen coming into the pits. Blue line, car not looking too healthy. So Alan Queen running the Jurassic Park. It was like a Ford Explorer or something like that in the original Jurassic Park. He's running that livery on this BMW. Noticed that in practice earlier today. Looks pretty cool. Good choice. Got about 5 laps to go. 4 minutes left in the race. Somebody doing some off-roading in the back of the picture. Stefan Vapa up to 4th position. After taking that damage. He's having to drive around with all this damage. But he's doing a good job of it. So Stephen Tenney is currently that interview 7th position. Under pressure, Scott Kim about 5 seconds back. Tenney's in a really good position for this. So good luck to him out here. Looks like Sten's back to 14th. Long pit stop. Something happened. As you see a traffic jam up here into the Heath Gardner turn. Yeah, he had a really long pit stop. 45 seconds. As did Yerxa. O'Connor gets out of the way for the leaders. So Alan Queen coming up on Scott Kim there in 8th. That's Scar Adam. We had somebody's having an off there. Be careful. Getting through here. Looks like they're okay. Not sure who that was that had that off. Trying to figure out who it was here. Blue line's back up to 10th, so really good recovery by him. I'm not sure who that car was. Scott Kim has caught Alan Queen, though. Gonna dive inside into the first corner. Thinks about it anyway. Doesn't get it done. Looks like Scott's got a little pink mustache. Who runs the mustache on the cars? Is that... blanking on that. Between Uber and whatever the other one is. I think it's the other one. So, length of pit. So the driver can choose to take tires or not. Tires take a really long time to change on these cars, depending on how much fuel. But with that said, there is some sort of randomness in iRacing. Like if 2 cars have the same exact amount of fuel and tires that they were adding. The pits might not be exactly the same. They'll be about a second within one another, but yeah, there's some randomness to it that I don't know if I'm really a big fan of or not. That's it. It was lift. So Scott Kim gets into that 7th spot there. Alan Queen having a little bit of an issue, it looks like. Let's see if we can get a replay and see if we can figure out what happened here. Yeah, he got through that fast right-hander. Scott Kim gets into that 7th position. I think he's the one that's come up with this 7th position interview concept, and I think it's given him something to drive for, like that. He's driving really as Bikachi blinks his lights. That's Matt Stover up ahead. And we're gonna have at the end of this race, we'll probably be having a turn one party for all the cars, as this will be our final lap. White flag. Actually, that is the end right there. Celebration. As the clock counted down right before they came to the end there. And there it is. There's our pit party. And I think Hill is stuck there. And Darren Treakle doesn't want any part of it. Either does Vapa. Brian Kennedy, I think he will. No, he's going to pull it off. Maybe he's just setting up. He's setting up for something grander. There it is. There it is. Scott Kim still around track. He still hasn't finished here. Or yeah, no, he has finished. Okay. All right, well, we'll be getting our interviews set up here. Good race. Congrats to Steve Fikachi there. We'll be right back, though, and we'll have our interviews. All right, we are back. Let me make sure everything's set up correctly for all of this. And we will get somebody up here. Who do we want to talk to? Fikachi, I would assume. Not in the chat yet, so let's bring up. There he is. We'll talk to Steve here. Hey, Steve, this is Matt up here in the booth.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good. How about you? Really good battle there. You started third. You got into first. You had a moment with Chris there, and he looks like he was very gentlemanly with all of that and handling that.
Yeah, he sure was. I happened to look up, down the straightaway, and I said, "Wow, it's the closest he's been." And under braking, I'm like, "He's sure getting close." And he just said he missed a break point and got me. So yeah, thanks to him for waiting and doing sportsmanlike thing.
Yeah, I would say he gave you the chrome horn, but he played it well. But you had a really good run, I think, on Stefan there. Out of turn 10, he looked like he was struggling a little bit because after you made that move on him, Hill was able to make that kind of same move, and Darren did it at another point. But you found his weakness, even though he was really fast in qualifying, and you were able to beat him in the race.
So this season we switched to open setups, so everybody's on a little bit different strategy, right? I mean.
Mm-hmm.
How your tires go off and things like that. So you never really know. You might have some short distance pace, might have some long distance pace. You don't know till we race. I don't know if that's exactly what was Steffen's case, but it seemed like he was very fast in the beginning and
Hmm.
dropped off a bit at the end. So I'm going to assume maybe that's what it was.
Well, you had it. You had it. Let me look here. It looks like Hill did have the fastest race lap, but it is really difficult to pass here. I know this track quite well, and you made it happen. So cheers to you for
Yeah,
making
I
it.
mean, the best bet is just to kind of stay close and capitalize on a mistake. Like I got to do with Steffen.
Yeah,
He went a little bit wide in the last corner, but yeah, short of somebody kind of pulling over, it is tough to get by.
yeah, but a really good track in my opinion. Really fun track. I know a lot of the guys around here in this league. This is one of their home tracks, so I think this is the first time I've actually broadcast this one, even though it's one that they really like. But yeah, well, good on the win, man. Hey, do you want to give any shout outs, any sponsors, things like that?
Yeah, sure. I need to thank Rick Flick Streaming, the guys at VRG, and of course my wife.
Always have to thank the wife. Most important of the sponsors to
Yeah, and I should probably change the order next time. Number one.
there you go. Well, next week it looks like we will be at Watkins Glen, so kind of another. I think, of course, that everybody kind of knows. I don't know what layout we're doing though, because there's several.
Yeah, I don't know either, but like you said, everybody knows it. It's a fun track. Just it's fast and
Yeah,
gives you some good opportunities.
and I guess like you said with the open setup, I think even more so there you could see some variation in setup there, big time.
Yeah, anything high speed, I think we're going to have a big difference in what people are running.
Yep. All right. Well, take care. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Who else do we want to bring up here? We'll bring up Chris. Hey, Chris, this is Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Hello.
Well, you started second, you finished second, but you had some exciting times. You were
Yeah,
able
no
to get
kidding.
around Stefan. You gave Steve the chrome horn, as I was telling him, but you made the very sportsman move, and you kind of waited for him to get back on track, and then the battle was back on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would never want to win a race by a bump and run or nothing like that. And it was a total honest mistake there. I had a good run on him, but I'm as I'm coming down there, I'm like trying to think through like how much fuel do I need to put in on the stop and all this kind of stuff. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, that's the 3 marker, and that's not going to work. So, so yeah, I felt really bad about hitting him there, but thank God it didn't. I still let him get back on, and I think he was just a little better in the pits. It seems like because I mean it wasn't much, but it was. I think a couple tenths is all I needed to have a chance at it because I think he must have been running a little less downforce than I was or something because like the draft did almost nothing for me. So
Yeah, and
it
he
was
was able to get a draft to get around Stefan there. He made a mistake or something in that final corner. But you kind of also had a similar thing with him where he was kind of struggling through that final corner, and you got that really good run on Stefan there. But yeah, interesting thing this season with the setup differences. And next week we're going to Watkins Glen, so I think there's going to be even bigger difference there.
for sure. Yeah, it's interesting, especially when we go to a track that there's not the setups for because you got to put some time into
Hmm.
building a setup and I really didn't really have the time to put into it as much this week. So I kind of guessed and it was funny
Yeah.
because we all kind of posted what we were running as far as setups and I ran Steve for a lap and what he ran last night and I was like, whoa, completely different polar opposite setups. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a very interesting season and qualifying's changed. The dynamics changed there and everything,
Yep.
and so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But
Well,
yeah, it was
any
a heck of a race with the 3 there. It was cool to see a new fast guy show up too. I mean,
exactly,
yeah, it
yeah.
must have had a little bit of a rough race here and there, but I think it'd be great if that pointy end keeps getting pointier. So
Yes, that's
you
right.
know.
Hey, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs, sponsors, of course.
I'll always got to thank the wife, otherwise, if I ever stop thanking her, she'll probably stop letting me do it. I was kidding. But I got to thank the wife. And of course, I do have to mention, my private instruction business. I have a company called Precision Racing Instruction. And anybody who's looking to either improve either on the sim or in real life, that can reach out to us. And yeah, happy to happy to help people improve. It's definitely my passion, and also, of course, the BMW Performance Center, where that's my day job,
Mm-hmm.
grinding away there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself, Chris, and we'll see you next week. Good run here today.
Sounds good. See you next week.
See ya. And we'll bring in Darren here, third place position here. Hey, Darren, this is Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, man, I do.
Well, what do you think? You started fourth, you got third. There was a battle up there at the front. You were just kind of hanging out and kind of third for most of the race, I'd say, after you got around Stefan there. But tell me about your race.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty exciting race trying to hang on to the back of those guys. We were all running pretty similar lap times. I decided to do something a little different and come in earlier than those guys into the pits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was just trying something at that point.
Yeah, you got to try something, right?
Yeah, you got to give something a try. And we came out. We all ended up back in the same order. I think, I don't know, it might have even been the same gap. But I kind of got held up by a lapper,
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end there. So that put enough of a gap between me and Chris that it just I wasn't gonna make it up. But I will do a shout out to Charles Turner. That was the lapper. I was a little aggressive when I asked him to let me by. So, but I was in the heat of the battle. But anyway, yeah, it was fun though. I was working up a sweat. It was a good turnout. Good turnout tonight, and we got some new guys, which is good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stefan looks really fast.
Yep.
And we're going to be this is open setups this season, so you're going to see some different strategies. Next week is Watkins Glen. I think you're going to see quite a bit of difference there. Between how much, say, downforce level maybe you take. I'm kind of coming from an open wheel world where I'm thinking of downforce in these cars, but I think there's some adjustments you guys can make on like top end versus mechanical grip in the corners.
Sure.
And all that. So that's where there's going to be big differences there. But really good run here tonight. I mean, it's so difficult to pass here at Summit Point. You're kind of just waiting for somebody to make a mistake, and when you get behind that lap traffic, it's really tough to get around them even too. You kind of got to send it. So.
Yeah, no, it's where there was that one moment where I think Chris bumped Steve going into turn one.
Yep.
And Chris stopped for Steve, so I stopped for both of them, and it didn't have anything to do with me, and I guess technically I could have gone, but
I did notice that. I was like, I don't think I'd have done that. It was between them two.
Yeah, it was between them two. I wasn't involved, but it was
it was very sportsman of all of you, I think.
Yeah, if I'm gonna, I kind of want to beat them straight up. I mean, if they had gone way off or something, that would have been different. But or if there was like someone right on me, that would have been a different situation. But there was enough of a gap that, and Steve didn't go way off. So yeah, no, I just would wait, and because if I'm gonna beat them, I kind of want to pass them.
Yeah.
So no, but other than that, it was, you're right. We were all running very similar lap times. I think I don't know. I can't remember. I may have ran a little quicker lap time.
Actually, yeah. You do have the fastest lap. I was reading it, and I thought you're so close, but you did have the fastest lap in the race.
Yeah, I mean, there was more than one occasion I think I ran a little bit quicker lap time than both Steve and Chris, but I couldn't get any closer.
Yeah, and it just takes, they had to make a mistake coming out of turn 10, and then you'd have that run on them. But if they didn't do that, then you weren't getting a run.
No, I mean, but so it was fun. It was it was a good race, and hopefully we have continue to have the numbers show up, and maybe a few more, and because I think there's a couple missing that
Yeah,
usually run with
Hendrick
us.
wasn't here tonight, so that's
Hendrick
one.
wasn't here. Colin wasn't here. Those are two that I know of right
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
That's right.
So yeah. So I hopefully.
Hey, any final shout outs? Any obviously sponsors? You're one of the title sponsors of the series here, so
Yeah, I might as well give a shout out to myself and Treakle Insurance Agency. We do auto home business and life, and we insure race cars, and we can do HPDE coverage as well. Hagerty, they partner with me on this, and Sten over there at Beltway Brewery, and just everybody else that decided to come hang out and race with us. I think it's good fun.
that's
It's
right.
a good group of guys. So.
Hey, I'd always appreciate, across these different cars we've been running, that you've got a similar livery that you're running on all, so it's easy to keep track of where you're at. So I know that car, regardless of what, make you're running. And these
Yeah. I try to keep it. I try to, copy, mimic what my real BMW race car is going to look like. So, one of these times I might throw you off by getting something else, but we'll see.
That's what in the other leagues that I broadcast, they try to mess with me every race. So you guys feel free to do that too. Anyway, take care. Have a good
Thanks,
week,
Matt.
and we'll see you back watching.
Sounds great.
Yep.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, our 7th place position here. Scott Kim, hopefully bringing him up. There he is. Hey, Scott, this is Matt up here in the booth. Do I have a copy?
Hey, Matt. Copy. Yep.
So you got the lift mustache on the front of that car. I was kind of blanking on what I couldn't remember if it was Lyft or obviously Uber has whatever.
No, I think it's a lift. Yes.
Yes,
With
exactly. Somebody
magenta
helped
pink.
me in the audience because I was completely blanking out. But hey, you were the one that came up with the 7th place concept, and I think it's giving
I
you something
did.
to drive for.
The whole entire time we're in Discord, and Stan was at number 7. We're fighting for number 7 spot now. I mean,
Yep.
it's hilarious. And I think Stan missed the pit stop, so he had a black flag. So I was in 7th for a while. Then Alan Queen came up.
Mhm.
He had a pace. Then he went off at turn 10, second to last lap. And I was in 7th place. I was running on fumes, low on gas. So coming around, but then I realized I'm in the 6th place. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't really care
Did
about the
you slow
points.
down?
So I did slow down just enough to let Steve Tenney go by, and
Wow.
Dean was right behind him, and I just crossed the 7th position right there.
So this is some interesting new mechanic
It
that you
is
guys have
becoming
going here.
interesting. I mean, it was talked about quite often during the whole time. The guys were like, dude, they're going for
Who's in
7th.
7th?
Yep.
Well,
So yeah, it was really competitive. A lot of action. I mean, it was very busy today. It's fast circuit. A lot of us, haven't been to Summit, Maine in person, so we know the track really well. But yeah, with this car, I mean, it's something else. And
yeah,
we're
I think
doing.
this is I've never been there in person, but I love
Yeah,
this track. When I first
yeah,
got
me too. And
iRacing, it's one of the cars that
mhm,
free track, so they give it to you in the
mhm, mhm.
rookies. And
Yep.
I was like, I've never had this track in another sim before, but this track's
Right.
awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I kind of pay respect to our local chapter because so
Mhm.
we like to start out with the Summit Point. It's an easier track, kind of get you used to the new car.
Mhm.
Uh, and usually it turns out really well. I mean, everybody's driving at a very high level now. So you saw the grid. I mean, we were right next to each other. From,
Yeah,
but
I don't know if you know, but back at the front of the field, we had some very good sportsmanship up at the front.
yeah,
So
we were just talking about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
that was very good.
We've got some new drivers today too.
That's
Stefan
right.
Vapa, and he was very fast. And unfortunately, he got hit by one of the car that got spun. And
Hmm.
but yeah, yeah, there's some really good driving out there today too. So
There was. It's very difficult to pass here. We did
true.
see some of your battles, I think, with you said Alan Queen and Robert
Yep.
Benson, and
Robert Benson. Yep.
yeah, some good
Igor. I
battles.
mean,
Yeah.
we're all mixed up. Yeah.
Hey,
It was.
any final shout outs you want to give? Sponsors, obviously. People you want to thank.
I just want to thank the chapter and appreciate all the fans and the drivers that come out. And we had a really good turnout today. 21 drivers. We're talking about it must be the car, the broadcast, something, and or the M4, M4 was too ugly last time.
Yeah.
So must be the grill, and oh yeah, hopefully this keeps up, and we still got 11 more weeks, and everyone, hopefully we'll have a really good race for the rest of the season, and good luck to everyone, and stay tuned.
Sounds good. Well, I'm going
Mm.
to mention one thing about the
Yes.
GT3.
Mm-hmm.
That grill has really grown on me from when I saw that first
Mm-hmm.
concept of it.
Yes.
So I think it looks a whole lot better than it used to. So,
Yeah, and
yeah,
they just released the official image yesterday, and it looks a lot better with the white, red, and blues
interesting.
theme, and it doesn't have that like a paint job, whatever, and yeah, it should look a lot better once it comes out of the prototype phase
Sounds
into
good. Yeah,
official race mode. So,
I'll
but
have to
yeah,
check it out.
yeah, good stuff, and thanks again for your work and the broadcasting, and I can't wait to go back and rewatch it.
It's a good one. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys, bringing me on, and this is I really enjoy doing this every week. So
Oh yeah,
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 it's
we
fun.
love it too.
Yep. All right. Well, you take
Awesome.
care,
Yep.
and we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. All right. Take care.
Take
Thanks.
care. All right. Well, that is it for us tonight. Let's go through our final results here. Steve Ficacci takes the win. Chris Hill, P2. Darren Treakle, P3. Stefan Vapa, a really fast, our pole sitter, recovered there to P4. Brian Kennedy, P5. Stephen Tenney, Scott Kim, our interview position there, P7. Steen Thuline, he had a good recovery drive as well. Alan Queen, P9, Jurassic Park car. Yakov Bielik, P10. So actually, we're doing points back to 15th now. So everybody back to 15th, getting points. Aspen Belvin, P11. Robert Benson, P12. Peter Yerxa, P13. Sten Cellier, P14. Barry Bocaner, P15. And rounding out the back of the field, Tim Bradford, Matthew Stover, Igor Soiker. He had some unfortunate happenings there at the end of the race there. Charles Turner, Peter Lanik also having some issue. Clark Orstrom. All these cars kind of in the back having some issues near the end of the race. But thank you guys for watching. And we'll be back here next week for more BMW action and from Watkins Glen. Thanks for watching.